Fire officials reminded us today that no matter how thick the ice may look, it should never be considered safe enough to walk on. So you're looking for the right hospital. All you have to do is log on and then search through the hospitals to see which one is ranked best for your specific needs. Leary is used to taking on big challenges. Believe it or not, before he took on the coffee roaster, he was a car mechanic here in Boulder. 4 firefighters from this station in Golden were sent to Southern California in October. The reason? They have a specialized truck that was built to deal with wildland fires. The university opened a new office of Veterans Affairs in the Regent Building this week to address the growing number of students that are also veterans from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. A scary reminder today that the ice covering the lakes this time of year isn't safe to walk on.
It was about 10:30 today. We had a call from the neighbors over here from the Greens were outside, saw what they thought was a dog in the water. They got down to go rescue the dog. As soon as they found the dog, they saw a female in the water, probably in her late teens, early 20s.
Those neighbors tried to throw some rope at Laura Wallace as she panicked in the icy water. That's when she went under. Fire crews did what they could from the ground and the water to locate the body as they waited for the dive team to arrive. About an hour later, Metro and Westminster dive teams pulled Wallace from the water, and she was airlifted to Denver Health. Fire officials reminded us today that no matter how thick the ice may look, it should never be considered safe enough to walk on. So if someone or something falls in, you should call 911 for help.
It's a very common occurrence. People will try and go out after their dog, which is the worst thing they can do. Best thing you can do is call 911 and let somebody in an ice rescue suit go out and do it, and don't try and go out there yourself because you're just becoming another victim, as we saw today.
Miss Wallace later died at the hospital. Both of her dogs were rescued and handed over to family members. Rebecca Sunshine, News Team Boulder. It was the story that had the University of Colorado's football program plastered on network news for weeks, raising the question, how far can college recruiting go to get the player? 7 years ago, at a party for football recruits, then CU student Lisa Simpson claimed she was raped.
So I just thought if I do what I tell them to, if they do what they tell me, or if they, you know, if I just, then I won't get hurt.
Her lawsuit against the university had been thrown out by a federal court judge and then recently reinstated by the Court of Appeals. Now, the university has agreed to settle the lawsuit at a cost of $2.85 million to Simpson and $350,000 to Ann Gilmore, who was also at the recruitment party. And since the lawsuit was initially filed, the university has taken some major steps to change the culture that surrounds recruitment.
In the last 2.5 years, we've had dramatic changes at the university. We are a different institution today than we were 3 years ago or 6 years ago.
Those changes included firing football coach Gary Barnett, the resignation of athletic director Dick Tharp, and even university president Elizabeth Hoffman. The athletic program itself also made changes, including restricting recruit free time and imposing a curfew. University President Hank Brown had earlier met with Simpson, expressing apologies.
I hope I conveyed to her a sense that we wish her well and want to be of help to her, and that I certainly personally regret that these kind of instances ever happen to students on our campuses.
Without anyone admitting any fault in the football recruiting program, this legal contest has been declared over. Rebecca Sunshine, News Team Boulder. The Midwest was plastered with snow and ice. The Des Moines airport was closed after a United Airlines plane slid off a taxiway this morning. No one on board was injured. Ice has made travel on the highways dangerous, not only in Iowa, but across several Midwestern states. 3 of the 4 suspects charged with killing Washington's Redskin player Sean Taylor were in court this morning. Police say the 4 men intended to rob Taylor's home and were surprised it wasn't empty. The 3 who appeared in court are accused of breaking into Taylor's home, then shooting him in the leg. He died a day later. The 3 face first-degree murder charges. A 2-year-old was rushed to the hospital with minor burns after a small apartment fire in Colorado Springs. The fire broke out in the 1800 block of Zebulon Drive about 11 this morning. 2 other children escaped the fire unharmed. The grandmother was hospitalized with smoke inhalation. Firefighters are trying to figure out what caused the fire. Colorado Springs police are looking for the gunman who shot and killed a man. The body of 24-year-old Kevin Shields was found lying on the sidewalk this morning. He died from multiple gunshot wounds. No suspects have been named. Today is World AIDS Day. People gathered for rallies across the world and right here in Colorado. Supporters gathered on the west steps of the Capitol to remember victims. The global theme of the event is Take the Lead. World AIDS Day started in 1988 when details were still being learned about the disease. AIDS cases across the world fell from almost 40 million last year to 33.2 million in 2007.